there is certain shadow daddy and this idea of femininity very close to my heart. Hi, welcome to the video. This is our like first sit down and I talk, you listen kind of video. So I'm a bit nervous because this is me just talking for a lot of time and I'm going to be awkward because it's my first time doing it. So okay. So in this video we are going to talk about the books I read this summer, and at first I was going to do like a monthly wrap-up video, but I don't read that many books a month and it's just one or two books it won't be fun. So I've combined the reading over this 3 months period, and we are past like the whole summer thing, and still it's too hot and humid, like it's the Mumbai weather. And I have my iced tea with me, so you can grab yours or you can just do whatever you're doing and listen to this. So the first book I'm going to talk about, it's Book of Night by Holly Black. It's her first debut into adult fantasy, and in this book we follow Charlie, who is like a former thief. She's trying to live some sort of normal life, working at a bar. Like she has a sister and a boyfriend, and she's living with them and trying to live some sort of normal life until she kind of witnessed something that she shouldn't have, and the world kind of starts to go against her somehow. And in this world we have this Clomis, like shadow hunter. I don't know if I'm making sense, but they are like people who kind of manipulate shadows and kind of steal people's shadows, and there's a whole lot of mafia in that, which is interesting. And so that is the fantasy and magical part, and I have thing for the shadow magic thing. There's certain shadow daddy which I don't approve of him, like I hate him, but it's like, come on. So because of that I really wanted to read something related to something like that, but I found this in my library. But so far I kind of enjoyed the book. In the end I was struggling from the first half, but it did make sense in the end. Like the second half was captivating, and like the characters have like interesting backstories, and it's a good read. Like I had fun mostly. So if you want to read it, go read it. We're going to talk about the second book, which was my favorite among, like it's going to be my top read of the year, I feel. Like it's by Margaret Atwood, called The Edible Woman. And in this book we follow Marianne, who is like a normal woman in her like mid-20s, who has a like normal job and a boyfriend, and a tolerable roommate who is a bit I will talk about it more later. But yeah, she has this normal people around her, and she's supposed to be happy about the life she is living. Like it's really nothing unusual, it's really mundane. And she has her normal job, and her co-workers are also these women, and it's just a normal job. But until it kind of comes to a point, she knows what's awaiting ahead of her, which is like a motherhood and being this so-called perfect wife for a man who is who doesn't really know her, and kind of assumes that she she is the way she is, and you can treat her that way. and and it's like this idea she explores about being consumed emotionally and then literally. And I found that really, I found that this whole uh, the comparison between the actual food and the emotional consumption is just so, it's just so weird. And I I don't know, if you want to read this, I think you should uh, there's a trigger warning if you like you're struggling with ED, any kind of ED, and it's just a lot when you some parts of it, but it's really kind of making fun of the expectations society has placed on women, and this idea of femininity. Like specifically we see in this book, like her roommate named Ainsley, she is a bit she has her own take on femininity and how women should be, and how we should kind of be the kind of way that society is telling us to be. And she has her own path, which is really fun. I mean, fun to read. And I really enjoyed her moments. Like every time she was like, her moments were really funny, and I really liked it. And then we also go through Marianne kind of trying to deal with this rage that is building up to a point that she's she's kind of struggling to kind of accept the reality that is presented to her. And she finds a new way to deal with this, and she kind of meets this younger man, and like their relationship also interesting. Like they just only talk mostly, and he's a person who is really kind of rebelling against society, kind of a person. So that part was really interesting for me, and in the end I really liked it. Like the book was something, feels contemporary, even though it was written back in 60s. I mean, at the start Atwood kind of mentions that she was not trying to relate to the feminist movement at the time, but the second wave movement, but because it was written in early 60s and she published after 5 years or so. and yeah, it kind of like it feels relevant to this I mean today also. And I really enjoyed this book, and I found, like, if you are looking for something like it is calm and but that is filled with rage also. But we see Marianne, who is like who is a greedy person. Like I really like her. Like it's just so hard to read. Like I haven't read that much of literary fiction yet, but I really found her character really gritty, and she is the most graceful throughout this book, like dealing with all these difficult circumstances, and and finding her own finding her own purpose in this. So if you are into this kind of story, or like something you're looking forward to read, I will highly recommend it. And yes, I mean, I don't know how I'm explaining. I'm trying not to ruin a plot for you, but this is this is this is me trying my best. But yes, if you are into this kind of story, and Atwood, like, I mean, at the start she was like the best from the start, I feel, and I think I'm looking forward to read her more of her work. And I'm glad I started with The Edible Women. Like, I have The Handmaid's Tale, the popular one, in my bookshelf, but I haven't touched that one yet. I really wanted to, like, I really want. Usually, I just start with the first book the author has published, and then I get kind of the writing there, you know, I kind of get the whole idea that they're trying to represent with their writing, and it's just so interesting to read any author's first work, and it's really raw, and I really liked it. And yes, that's it. Moving on to the next book. So the third book I read, um, it was like a most anticipated read for me, because it's a book I've been wanting to read for like a long time. And when I found it, like, that summer I went to Pune, and on my last day I just took some time off from my family, and I said, like, I will just, have some breakfast outside, and explore some bookstores in Pune. And I went to FC Road, and I bought a few books. One of them was James Baldwin's Giovanni's Room, and it's the book I've been, I wanted to read for like a long time. Wait, I'll show you the copy. Wait. Okay, so this is the paperback I got from the store, and like, I wanted to read it right away, but I took some weeks off, because I was sick. It doesn't matter, but yeah, I really, I think, I don't know how to explain it, because it's so like, this book, it's been talked about a lot in like a booktuber or book influencers. But for me, it was like getting into uh, James Baldwin's writing, like his work, for the first time, and I felt a lot, and maybe I have cried after finishing this. And I don't know, I think it's the kind of book I will come back to every now and then, and it's just, his writing is so beautiful, like, and it's so moving. Like, you feel every sentence and word in your body as you read it, and it feels so, I don't know, I mean, the whole plot in this. Like, it's a famous book, and we follow this American in Paris, and his summer with the man named called Giovanni, and I don't know, it's just, it made me feel a lot, and I don't know how to explain it, but you just have to read this. Like, everyone should read Baldwin every now and then. And I have bought another book of his recently, which I will mostly read like in October, like around that time, or maybe, I don't know. I think I'm still trying to decide when to read that. But yeah, Giovanni's Room is just like, it's going to be very close to my heart, and I don't know what to say, because it's that kind of book which you just kind of moves you, and I mean, you wish I could write or like speak this way. Like, the language is so beautiful, and the setting of Paris, and the whole. I'm running out of words, but you just have to read this. So I'm not going to talk a lot, but yeah, it's just is that. And the fourth book and the last book I read this summer was Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. I am not familiar with coco mellors before like getting into this. Was like suggested by someone in my book club, and we were, I was looking for something like character based and something like queer element in it, and one of the person like they suggested this, and I said okay. And this is my copy. I kind of bought this for my friend, but I think I wanted to read it first to see will she like it or not. But I think, I don't know, I'm still contemplating that whether to send this to her or not. But this in this book we follow three sisters who are, coming in terms with their like with their sister's sudden death, like a year after. And it's based in like every corners of the world. Like one sister is living in London, other is in Paris, and third one is in like LA. So we kind of get what kind of these women are, and kind of they are trying to understand and don't know how to, make sense of this grief and this loss that they feel among them. And it's really moving. Like I personally, like, it was hard to get through at some points. We kind of get to this point that these sisters are kind of, going, like trying to live this, making sense of world around them by, just kind of like being this self-destructive at some points. And it's just, it break it. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm not making sense. This is just me first I'm talking about this. I haven't talked to anyone about, coco mellors, or like I haven't read the first book. Like this is my first big book of hers I picked up. Like if you are looking for something character driven and like about grief, loss, love, and especially their sisterly love is something I really love. And I love this element about it. So yeah, coco mellors, Blue Sisters. This was it. Like these are the books I read this summer. And I like, if you want to continue this conversation or discussion about these books specifically, you can comment down and I will, definitely write you back. And if you want to, get these books, please get them from a bookstore or a library. uh, and now we are like halfway into a year, and I'm kind of reflecting on this habit I have, reading in general. I have not like read any non-fiction till now. Like I feel bad about it, because like one of my goals. Like I don't usually follow on my goals or like resolutions in general, but I really wanted to, get into non-fiction, specifically a good non-fiction. And I picked up, like I have some of these books around that I wanted to read, uh, or maybe, get into non-fiction and kind of explore it. Book I started non-fiction this year was Sapiens, because it's most talked about like in recent past years, but I couldn't finish it, and it's just been on my, Audible for I don't know how long, but I just can't get back to it. So the other books I picked up recently that are non-fiction is this non-fiction, and obviously Baldwin. I think this is the most like relevant to now current what's going on in USA, and every American can relate to this. Not every, but some. But yeah, and this one is, it was published this summer, and it's by Indrajit More. and I've known Indrajit for like brief time, in 22 and 23 at that time, and I know he was working on this, and like congratulations to him to finally publishing it, and like I'm holding it. It just feels so unreal, and I will get into it soon. It's just I I just can't get into non-fictions in general. It's not I think it's the timing and the headspace I'm in. Like I'm really always looking for some escapism and some new places to explore, and this has a lot of places, but we'll see. And the other book is this one I read, um, like I don't know, a year ago, like not a year ago, it was before pandemic or such, with like which really kind of motivated me to kind of start taking care of myself, and I enjoyed it at that time, but I really want to reread it again. And this one is, I just kind of I have to read it for sometimes make sense in general. But yeah, this is the one I'm currently reading on and off. And yeah, I think these are the only non-fictions I see I'm interested in. If you know anything more, please don't suggest me any self-help books or like business thing, anything. But in general, memoirs, or uh, something about history and philosophy, in those kind of areas, I would like to read them. And yes, I think this is the end. I'm not going to talk much, but yeah, there's a lot to read. Currently, I'm reading The Namesake, which I will finish soon because it's so easy to get through this book. I will talk about it briefly once I finish it, and maybe after 1 month or two, we'll talk about it. And till then, you can tell me your experience about the books we discussed. And yeah, I think I'm going to stop talking, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care.